I'm with one of our local Naples title companies, Heights Title. We highly recommend them. I have the founder, David Jed, and Corlin Tucker here, whose energy is very contagious.
Thank you.
For a lot of buyers and sellers, they realize they need a title company or an attorney, but they may not know exactly what they do. It's like, oh, just more paperwork, you know. So I was hoping one of the things that we could do today is discuss a little bit about what a title company does. And you're an attorney as well, so we can also draw on that. So can you give us a little bit of information on what led you to Naples and what your background is and what got you into the title business?
Well,
I'll start.
Okay.
So my background is I was a flight attendant with United Airlines for 10 years and then went into real estate as a realtor and moved over to title and escrow in 2004 and just fell in love with it. The relationship building is very important to me. I came to Naples 5 years ago to be closer to my family.
Awesome.
wonderful. I went to law school in Boston, and my first job was with a real estate firm in downtown Boston. That was in 1993, not to date myself. And I've been involved in the industry ever since. I moved back to Naples in 2004.
For the weather?
Sorry?
For the weather?
Well, I grew up in Marco Island
Okay.
as a child.
Very nice.
And so I came back to my roots and haven't looked back since. Our first office we opened in 2004 in Cape Coral.
Oh, very nice.
Subsequently Naples, and now we're in Estero and Naples,
Okay.
servicing both Lee and Collier County. And I've always just enjoyed the real estate industry. Title, up in Boston, it was an attorney state. So I'm used to having attorneys involved in a real estate transaction. Down here, a little different.
Right.
So we made a conscious decision to open a title company and a law firm and keep them separate, although they're sister companies. And I seriously enjoy the transactional component of the title business and the satisfaction that it brings everybody around the table when the home closes and the home buyers are elated.
Everyone's happy.
It's a happy transaction.
So for my buyers and sellers, they may not understand the title process and why it's important. Can you lead us through the process a little bit and why it's so necessary?
Sure. The first thing we do when we receive a contract is we order a title search.
Okay.
And oftentimes you'll see a line item on your settlement statement for title examination or title search. That's where our underwriter examines title to make sure that all the mortgages are disclosed, the requirements, they're called in the title commitment. And that's sort of a roadmap to closing. And everybody should be aware of what that says. Because if there's something in there that will delay closing, you certainly want to know that early on. And that could range from a corrective deed, a probate matter, a payoff of a mortgage. There's various requirements. So that's what we use to get to the closing table. We have to satisfy those requirements. We also look for open permits.
Okay.
Which is not a title issue, but we do it as a convenience for our clients. So in case there's an open permit, they're not going to buy an issue after closing, realizing that they're going to have to spend money to rectify that. From there, we issue an owner's title insurance policy, which is a one-time premium that you will also see on the settlement statement, and it's regulated by the Department of Insurance.
Okay.
So those rates are promulgated. We don't change those rates. They're dictated by the state, and we charge whatever the promulgated rate is based on the purchase price. So the title insurance policy is just like a life insurance policy, except it insures you against title defects that you may not know at the time you purchase. But after the fact, you find out there was a forged deed.
And is that good for the life of you being in the home?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a one-time premium, and that policy,
the time you're in the home, you're covered.
it's valid for as long as you own the property.
Okay.
And if you have a lender, we also issue a lender's policy to the extent of the mortgage.
So they're
that
covered as
insures
well.
the lender as well
Okay.
against title defects.
Okay. That makes sense. Great. So what are some of the most common title defects that you see, and how do these get corrected?
Well, it's funny because, and we have a sheet that we hand out to people who don't understand why you need title insurance. And it's 70 reasons why. And I have it here in front of me. So just a couple. Undisclosed heirs is a big one.
Oh. Especially
Incorrect.
here in Naples.
Especially here in Naples.
Second homes.
Correct. Inadequate or defective legal descriptions. Somebody who types the legal description does it incorrectly. Well, that is a defect on title. So we have to get a corrective deed.
Okay.
And you might have to go back two owners in the chain of title, which can cause significant delays.
Yes.
And fraud. There's fraudulent deeds.
Really?
Back in the day, 2008, when things were a little crazy, 2007.
Yes, we all remember those days.
We had one thing called dead people selling, which is people combing the obituaries, finding out if they own property, and then conveying it by a fraudulent deed to an innocent buyer. Those are the sort of things that the title policy will protect you against. And if you've ever been privy to a title claim, which I have, I've seen many of them, you're very thankful when your underwriter steps in, pays all the costs to defend it, gets it corrected, and provides you with either money or a clear title.
So since you're an attorney, after you close, and then let's say an error pops up out of nowhere, can you help people through the process afterwards?
Yes.
Okay.
If we are the issuing agent, it's our responsibility to assist post-closing with filing a claim with our underwriter.
Okay.
We use First American Title, a national underwriter. They have a very specific claim process. Okay. So we would then take the claim, do our homework, provide it to the underwriter so they can further investigate the claim.
Okay. And it seems like it's really a bonus then that you're an attorney as well. You almost need to look for that when you're doing a title company because you don't know what can happen, and there is definitely something to be said for having an attorney on your side.
Absolutely.
We find too from the beginning, because realtors tend to cross the line every now and again. It's called unlicensed practice of law.
Yes, I
So I enjoy when I get the contract before it's signed, so that I can explain the contract and the legalities, because it's pretty detailed. And a lot of people will sign a contract making the largest investment of their life,
right,
and not know what it says.
or not read it.
Not read it at all.
And I always tell people, please take your time, read through it. Let me know if you have questions. But some people just go ahead and sign, and they're like, "Oh no, it's okay." I'm like, oh, please read it.
Right.
But you just don't know. I mean, that can be a little. But builders' contracts are definitely more detailed than any contract, for sure.
In my experience, the average size of a builder contract is about 60 pages.
Yes.
Right? Give or take.
Yeah.
Whereas a normal Naples or Farbar contract is 12 pages.
Right.
So it's a different animal in that regard.
Yes.
But my point is, have the contract reviewed before you sign it.
Okay.
That's where being an attorney
Helps.
really helps.
Yes.
And then when that title commitment is issued, understand what it says.
Right.
Understand that there are steps that have to be taken to provide you with clear title, marketable title, and a policy.